Welcome to Break Into Tech Show with Professor Temi Akinwumi of My IT University, a multi-award winning tech CEO, career coach, and mentor. With decades of hands-on tech career, will ensure your career dreams come true. Join our extraordinary show today on groundbreaking topic for a successful career. Do you want a $100,000 job as a cybersecurity professional, Scrum Master, Business Analyst Software QA, Cloud Architect, Data Analyst, Technical Recruiter, and more? Visit www.myituniversity.com to schedule a call. Come and get inspired to secure a lucrative job, keep the job, and grow on the job. Relax, receive, and see results. We're glad you're here. Share, like, and comment.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you are doing great wherever you are joining us from, wherever you are, all over the world. I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Thank you. My name is Professor Temi Akinwumi. We're here on your Break Into Tech show, and it's going to be a wonderful day today that we're going to be discussing about what is the role of a Scrum Master during a sprint review. So have your pen and notepad ready, like we always do, and let's go. Let's make it a great day. I've been in tech for 3 decades, and I'm a multi-award winning tech CEO of Top Technologies and also the founder of My IT University. Here with My IT University, we help you to break into lucrative tech roles. If you are trying to break into tech and you're trying to make good money in tech and secure your tech role for a long time, and you need a mentoring community as well, feel free to schedule a call with me. It's scrolling right down here under www.myituniversity.com. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for being here. So tonight I'm here with one of our wonderful. Today I'm here with one of our wonderful mentee, now a mentor, and is a very, very senior Scrum Master. I'm going to be discussing with him. I want him to introduce himself so we can get started. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor. Again, welcome everyone, and it's a pleasure to be with you this evening. My name is Austin Tia, and I'm a senior Scrum Master. And my background, I retired from the U.S. Navy, and I transitioned into IT. And I've used my IT university to really build up my credentials and my experience, and I'm now working as a Scrum Master. So it's a pleasure to be here. And if you are joining us or you're on the site, I say you need to set up and you need to decide now, not sit on the site. There is a future for you in the IT. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Austin. I want to ask you, many people have been asking and wondering, who is a Scrum Master? And you are the best to let them know, because they've been hearing it from me every single time. So I want them to hear your version. Who is a Scrum Master?
Thank you. I think a Scrum Master for me, without going to like the technical detail or the definition by the Scrum guide as they described it, is somebody that is very passionate about his or her team, able to serve both in the front and the back without recognition, without any motive, but other than to serve the team. I know they changed the definition of a scrum master from a servant leader to a leader, right? Yes, we are a leader, but we don't have a portfolio. There are people that would say that this person is my direct report or whatever, but we're here to make sure that the team is coached, the team is focused, and at the same time we're taking care of the business, because both of them have to work together to get an output. There couldn't be a, a business without a scrum master, I mean without a scrum team, and there will be a scrum team without a business. So we all work together. And as a scrum master, you are there to coach at the same time to facilitate some of the ceremony that goes on during scrum. Thank you.
Mm, Thank you so much. So, in a nutshell, a Scrum Master is the bridge between the business and the Scrum team, making sure everything is going seamlessly and everything's blending without no distraction. Every, everyone is focused on getting their job done. Very good. So we can get to the definition of done. That's good.
Yes.
Uh, so I want to also ask you, what are the daily activities of a Scrum Master? What
Oh
are your
wow.
daily activities?
That's one of the beauty about this job, right? As a Scrum Master, every day is different. However, there are certain activities that common throughout the day that we do every day. So, for instance, for me, my day starts very early, and I have to make sure I get all my stuff set up. I check my email, check my Jira board, my Jira line, make sure I know what's going on before I even start the team. After that, we start our daily Scrum meeting. You know, daily Scrum meeting. I currently have about between 3 to 4 teams that facilitate, and we go through our daily Scrum meetings. After that, we talk about I looked at about any issue of impediments, who are the people that I need to contact. I need to talk to my stakeholders. I need to talk to my tech lead, the developers, make sure everybody's they're doing their work. Also, I also read, I have to study. I have to study about the program. I have to study about the objectives. What is going on with my team? What's going on with my company? Where is the vision? Has anything changed from the last time we did our sprint review? The last time we did our backlog? I also had to make contact with my product owner, make sure we're on the same page. So by the time you attend all the meetings and you check all the stuff, and you find out, oh, it's time to go home, and the cycle continues again. But that's just a little brief, Of course, I could go into the details, and we're gonna be here till tomorrow, right? But the gist is every day is different, right? And depending on the issue that comes up, you have to deal with it and to make sure that you remove that roadblock, that your team has everything that they need to get their job done.
Thank you so very much. So you are all over helping them to make sure remove all the impediments, meeting all the team members. So that means Scrum Master have to be a people person, know how to liaise, to relate, to discuss, to you know put them put themselves out of their comfort zone and always try to find the best way to make sure the team can go forward and help the team. That's very good. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And I know that most of the time people are doing Scrum in their daily lives.
Okay.
Even though they don't call it Scrum, I've seen a lot of teachers that have helped to transition into Scrum, and they don't know they have those activities because pretty much what Scrum is coordinating project. It's like project coordination. We do it every day. I see some pastors that are transitioning into Scrum because you are coordinating between the church program to members of the church and all of that, and past other pastors. And as a teacher, you're coordinating between parents and the student and the principal and things like that. Maybe you are in the front desk as a receptionist or as a secretary, you are coordinating, you are the admin, you are doing a lot of coordinations. So even looking away from project management, a lot of people are coordinating every single day. An entrepreneur, you have your own business, you are always coordinating. See, your help desk support, you are always coordinating, making calls and stuff. So a lot of times we are already doing this thing and we have these skills. So my question to you is, what are some of those transferable skills that is helping you now as a Scrum Master, or that the Scrum Master can have?
Yes. So from my experience and from my personal own experience, I come from naval engineering background and the marine naval marine engineering, where we deal with electrical generation, distribution, propulsion system, right? And part of it also being the military, I have to be a coach. I have to coach my junior sailors. I have to teach them how to do stuff. At the same time, I have to let them, I have to facilitate them to help them develop, right? Not just teaching and give them direction, but at the same time, I had to see this. So some of the transferable skills that I think is perfectly transferred over to a Scrum Master position. First of all, is you have to know how to plan. You have to be able to be proactive. right? People skills, all right? You have to know how to deal with people. How do you talk to people? How do you get people to do things when you don't directly have authority over them, right? And that's basically what a servant leader is, right? You want people to do what they're supposed to do without you punishing them, without you say, okay, well, oh, I am an authority over you, right? And so when you know how to do that, your people skills, those are very, very, very good. When it comes to project planning, right? Yes, a project manager is not directly transferable to a scrum master, but there are a lot of things that a project manager does that a scrum master also apply to scrum. You have to know how to do your story, writing your stories, know how to do estimation, things, all of that stuff. We do it, right? And a lot of stuff doing in our day-to-day activity, like even in your own home, right? You plan your children's schools. You have to make sure that they get the paper, they get the vaccine, they have all the, I think my kids have different classes, right? I have to make sure they pick the right classes, that they show up, they go to bed at the right time. So all of this daily activity that we do, yes, Scrum call it a different name, but they are transferable to Scrum. So it's not, I mean, there is no one specific job that is limited, right? If you come from the health services, you come from, as a teacher, take an example, a fifth grader, a teacher that teaches fifth grader. That's a lot of coordination for you to get all the 10-year-olds and 11-year-old to be in the same page. That's like talking about Scrum, a Scrum team with all the stakeholders. Everybody wants to go different ways, but you have to be able to bring them together to achieve that strong, the sprint goal. That's 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 just awesome. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you so very much. So, in our day to day, in our daily life, we do a lot. We do have all these transferable skills. Take about a mom, a soccer mom. Take the kids to soccer, pick them up, take them to school, pick them up, take them to Boy Scouts, Girl Scout event, pick them up, do this, do that. So there's so many activities that moms are doing. You automatically can be a Scrum Master. Dad too can be a Scrum Master. So we're doing Scrum. Even let not talk about the job in our day-to-day life at home. We are doing Scrum. You're taking care of your elderly parents. You are taking care of them. You are organizing. You are coordinating. Okay, take them for this doctor's appointment. Take them for that. So you are always doing stuff. You are coordinating. So Scrum to come to play in our day-to-day lives. So I thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I always say a lot of transferable skill are soft skill, people skill like leadership. Some people are very good with leadership, persuasion, how to persuade customer, tell them, okay, this is what I think we should do. Problem solving, analytical reasoning, all those are skills that are transferable to Scrum. People who have them already. See, so critical thinking, attentive listening, things like that, communication, collaboration, all these are transferable skills that are useful in tech and also in Scrum. So when you some people speak, you feel like honey is falling out of their mouth. They're so sweet,
Yep.
so sweet spoken. People want to listen to them. You want them to talk more. You want to listen to them. These people, kind of people, can easily transition into Scrum role. So all those things are very important. So I thank you so very much for that. And I want us to also discuss about the various Scrum ceremonies.
Okay.
There's different Scrum ceremony. I want us to go over how do you go over your Scrum ceremony, like in during a sprint. Let's start from the first to the last, then we'll go deep into Scrum review today. But let's go over the Scrum ceremony from the how do you go through them step by
Thank,
step, one by one.
thank you. So just to be, I think the first one is sprint planning, right? You had to plan a sprint. So you do your sprint planning, and I'm not sure how detailed you wanted to go into sprint planning today, but you go into sprint planning, and part of the work is should be already been done by the product owners and the stakeholders, getting the stories in the backlog, ordering the backlogs. So when the Scrum team comes about, we go and look at, okay, well, based on what our POs already the backlog that the PO is already ordered. Then we'll go through each of those items, and the development team will look at it and they will size it. But before that, we had to make sure that each of the stories has a certain criteria, right? So they have enough information for the developer to begin a communication with or discussion with the product owner. What do you really want here? What does this mean? Who is, what are you trying to do? And we go into that detail as as a discussion point. And once all of the stories are already sized, the the accepted criteria is there, then we now pick, okay, well, based on our capacity, this is the amount of work we could do on our sprint. And once we decide that, of course, as a Scrum Master, my job is to facilitate that conversation between the development team and the product owner. Of course, when you're talking about sizing, that one is left for the development team because they are the one that's going to be doing the job. Our job as a Scrum Master is to make sure that we help them to, if they have to ask the right question, to have a detailed discussion and have all the definition of ready, right?
Yes.
It's there. Once the revision is ready, and they pick, and they don't overcommit also, because you as a Scrum Master, you have to look out for your team also based on their
Mhm.
capacity.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if they are not a new team, you already have an idea what their velocity is, right? And you use it as a guide. It's not set in stone. Of course, that's why it's Scrum. Nothing is
Mhm.
set in stone. And once that decided, okay, we'll go into our screen, the sprint start. And that will lead us to the next ceremony that we do, which is our daily stand up. So a daily stand up usually time box to be 15 minutes. Right.
Daily
So
stand up or daily scrum.
a daily scrum. Okay, so you say daily stand, a daily scrum. Okay, the
Yes.
official word is daily scrum.
In
Yes,
case the people use the other, it depends. I mean,
yes,
it's the same thing, right? But in
yes.
case people are, yeah. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for correct, because we have to make
No,
sure we use it
you are
appropriately.
correct. I'm just saying, or daily scrum or daily stand up, because some people call it stand up, some people call it scrum, just for them to know it's the same thing. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. So that is time box to be 15 minutes, not more than 15 minutes, right? And everyone's supposed to come in. There are three key questions that we're trying to answer. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. You don't have to really ask all those three questions, but you kind of teach your team or you coach your team to, okay, well, what did I do yesterday? What am I doing today? And are there any impediments to those? So for depending on the maturity of the team, the Scrum Master is not required to be at that meeting, but it's required to make sure that the meeting occurred.
Yes,
And unless the Scrum Master is also part of the development team, because sometimes the Scrum Master will have a dual hat, right?
exactly.
So, and that one is done daily. I make sure everybody's have visibility about what we're doing. There's
Yes,
transparency, right?
transparent. Mhm.
And that will lead us to our next ceremony, which is the sprint review. If I'm not mistaken, yes, that's
Yes, it's the sprint review, because when you finish all, putting everything together, they have to do a demo and review what it
yes.
is. So, right.
So at this at the sprint review, you want to talk about basically what you have done. That's when you want to show off what you actually did, and because prior to that, the product owners and the team, they already look at it, so it's already been accepted. And before we actually start the team, there are some preparation you have to do. Either the PO or the Scrum Master should invite. Usually it's the PO, but of course the Scrum Master could stand in also. Uh, Invite the stakeholders, the sponsors, to come and see what we actually did, right? And because the sponsors are the one that actually pay for it, and any other people that might be have an interest in what we're developing. So the recommendation would be like a day before, send out a list of all the items that you're going to be demonstrated to your stakeholders so that they could decide if they really want to come for that. They want to be at that place.
Mhm.
And that same day also you send all the list to all the teams so everybody's aware about what we're doing and the agenda.
Yes.
So during the for the sprint review, let's talk about the time box first. Depending on the length of your sprint, usually would determine your sprint review time, but it's not set in stone. They usually recommend between 1 and 4 hours, no more than 4 hours. And I guess the industry standards usually for 2 weeks you spend like 2 hours, and for a 3 week sprint about 3 hours, but no more than 4 hours total. So the agenda will look like something like this. You have a welcoming time, to introduce people, or who the PO will usually introduce the team members and the invitees. Also, we have time for demonstration of what we did. We'll go through each story and show them what we did, if they were accepted or not. Then we'll talk about it if there's new backlog items that maybe arise from what we did. You go through that and kind of reprioritize all that based on what the feedback that you get over there and get ready for the next sprint. And I think sometimes, depending on the level of your team, also, you might allocate time for coaching to kind of like discuss or give some little training about Scrum, about things that you're doing. And the less, at the end of the whole process, the outcomes are like, okay, increment inspection and adaptation. So you want to look at the backlog, right? You inspect the backlog again, and you adapt your backlog based on the output. So, okay, based on what we learned from this spring, are there any stories in the backlog that we want to remove, or we want to add to it, or we want to adjust? We also improve collaboration through this sprint review. Uh, Transparency regarding business vision, right? So our stakeholder will be able to give their input also, that, hey, from where we are, okay, based on the business condition, based on what we're looking at, we might need to change this, or this is where we're going, and this is the next feature we want to try to release or we want to work on. And also, like I said earlier, you want to update your backlog, right? And the new backlog item will be prioritized and will rank and will be ready for the
Mhm.
next sprint. I think that's basically what a sprint review entails.
Yes, and also the sprint retrospect.
Yes, so
Retrospect.
yes, and the retrospective is a separate. So that after the sprint review, then you now go into the retrospective. And again, for the ceremonies, because we cover all the ceremonies, right? So the last ceremony will be the sprint retrospective. And
Yes.
usually the retrospective is between the team, the Scrum team. And so we want to talk, we usually go over, okay, what do we do right? What can we improve on, right? And we try to make it to be generic, not like pointing fingers or anything, right? But the goal of that is to adapt, right? And we want to adapt, okay, see, okay, what happened there in our last sprint? What did we do right? What are some of the things we could improve on? And we recognize what we also did and just give people a little pat in the back.
And the lesson learned.
Yes,
We have to always learn new lesson.
absolutely.
Thank you for that. I know that sprint grooming also sometime, there's always gonna happen after backlog grooming and stuff. But that will be covered another time. But that's another. Some people don't kind of ceremony, but it's part of ceremony sometimes because it's part of things to be done, right? Uh,
Yes, I guess like as you mentioned, right? It's not an official
yeah.
ceremony, but it's something that you have to do, and
Hmm.
you got to do it constantly with the PO and the team and everybody to make sure that we actually have a good backlog items. So yes,
Yes. Yes. Good. So we already talked about the sprint review, so that's very good. So we don't have to repeat it here because you already did a good job going through in details all the different ceremony, and you actually explained them in depth, and you also went into extra depth for the sprint review. So I thank you for that.
hmm
Which one is your best Scrum tool? Can you take us through the use of it? How do you use your best Scrum tool?
wow. I think I guess it depends. I mean, of course, each company is different, right? Each
Yes.
environment is different.
Mhm.
For me, the tools that we use for my current job right now is Jira Align, Jira, and Microsoft Team. Those are the three main ones that I use.
What's the difference
So,
between Jira Alliance and Jira?
so Jira Align has more. Jira is at the Scrum level, at the Scrum team level. All you need is just Jira. But when the leadership are starting, there are some organizations that are very large and they have Scrum of Scrums. So Jira gave them that the capability to actually work on dependencies and other strategic level to kind of bring into a little bit at a higher level. But usually, if at a Scrum level, at a Scrum team level, all you need is just Jira and the Microsoft team that I use. So those will be the two tools that I use. And of course, I use Confluence a little bit, but all the all the documentations and everything that I need is also in the Microsoft team. So it's easier for us to kind of have all of those group on there. I do my daily Scrum because we do most of our teams are remote, so we do our daily Scrum meeting via team, and all our documentation, the chat is there, the call, everything is in. It's just like all you can eat buffet, basically. That's the way we look at it. So everything is there, right? So it's easier to kind of manage the process. So those are the two tools I use the most right now.
Okay, very good.
Of course, I know there are other ones like Mora and
Moral.
Trello and all that stuff, but I don't use that often, so I would defer that to
Yes,
other days.
yes, yes. Thank you for that. So, what's your advice for aspiring Scrum Masters?
I think the first thing is they need to think about why do they want to be a Scrum Master, right? Because no matter what, if you don't have that drive in you, no matter what, it doesn't matter how much the job pays, right? You're not gonna be happy. Once you decide that you really want to do it, I say be curious, right? You wanna be inquisitive. You wanna be able to have the drive to learn more and more because chances are if you come in as a scrum master and you're working with some of these engineers, they're very smart, right? Some of the items they're gonna be working on, you might not have enough knowledge about it. So you want to be able to open to learn and don't wait till somebody going, oh, you need to go read this. No, you have to be proactive. You have to actually ask questions. Be humble enough to say, you know what, maybe I don't know this, and ask questions. Because the team will see through you, and be humble, right? Be humble. Be able to ask for corrections. If somebody corrects you, don't worry about it. Don't internalize it, right?
Mm-hmm,
Think of it as part of your development,
mm-hmm.
right? And don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, right?
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort. And a lot of the team members will help you. They will teach you. They will show you things, right? And study and study. I would say do networking, right? Network with other Scrum Masters. There are a lot of Scrum teams on LinkedIn, on all this social media. Network. And you're gonna be fine. You are
Good.
gonna be fine. So
Excellent. Thank you so very much. So, making sure that they are open to correction. I
okay.
mean, that's a growth mindset, right?
Mhm.
Open to correction, being easily adapting to the new environment, learning, asking questions if needed, being able to observe the environment, observe people, know people. You need to know people that you're working with. The first couple of weeks you get there, you have to start studying them and know them because you'll not step on anybody's toes when you know them. And
All right.
be professional, remain professional. Whatever it is just it's a job at the end of the day. So things
Yeah.
like that. I know, we can go on and on, but there's so much, and there's no reason not to give it a try. If you aspire to be a Scrum Master, jump into it. Don't wait. That's what we do here. We coach you. We coach you into Scrum. When we finish coaching you, we just don't let you go like that. We mentor you. We do mentoring, like Austin is one of our mentors here now. We have a lot of Scrum Master, a whole lot of them. We mentor, we can network with them, we nurture you, and we have community support. Like you don't get booted out. We mentor you, we nurture you, and you continue to grow, and you are in the community. So nothing's no shaking. Nothing's gonna shake you. So you always have people that you can ask questions. We have meetings. We always have meeting like weekly interview preps. There's always weekly interview preps, and there's always weekly mentoring calls where you can shadow all these strong Scrum Masters. And we have different courses. You can go on our website. It's scrolling right here, www.myituniversity.com. So we have different courses from cybersecurity to Scrum project management, business analysis, data analysis, cloud, and so on and so forth. But if you're interested in Scrum Master, reach out to us. We always have program that we're starting. So we'll tell you, don't procrastinate, don't delay, join us if you're interested. Um, you will never regret it. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn information in case you have any questions. And send me an email as well, support@myituniversity.com if you have any question. And also on social media, we are on different social media platform like on YouTube, my IT University, just one word like that. On Clubhouse, my IT University, one word. On LinkedIn, my IT University, all in one word. We're on all the social media, even on Facebook as well. So, hey, reach out to us, okay? You can be a Scrum Master. It's not rocket science, okay? You can do it.
Yes.
You break into tech and make good money, okay? So reach out to me, schedule a free call. It's free 99. Okay, www.myituniversity.com. I want to hear from you. Subscribe to our channel, like, and share with others. So I thank you all so very much for listening to us. And I want to thank Austin for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And I don't take it for granted that you joined us today. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so very much. So what's
Thank
your
you. And
last? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be here, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So, what's your last advice for the Scrum Master before we go? People that are trying to break in and thinking they should do it or not do it. What's your final advice for them?
I'll say go for it. Don't wait. The time is right. So go for it. And
Okay.
reach out if you have any question, reach out to any of us, and we'll provide our support as much as possible.
Thank you very much. So, thank you for that. So, hey, you've heard it. So, jump on it. Don't waste time. Schedule a call and we help you understand what exactly are your transferable skills and how easily you can break into Scrum. Scrum is one of the easiest role to break into even in tech. I tell you that. Okay, so I thank you so very much. Until next time, when we bring you another wonderful discussion. My name is Professor Temi, and this is your Break into Tech show from my IT University. Thank you, and have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.